Hello, what's up everybody? How is it going? Welcome to another video of tutorial series PHP Specials. I'm your host Anwar Ali and I'm here today with a new topic, and the topic is sorting the entries of database using drag and drop UI. So we'll be showing the list of the entries of database which we can sort by order, its display order, just by dragging and dropping its position from here and there, from top to bottom. So this is the feature, and in order to accomplish this we'll be using JqueryUI and obviously PHP as the backend. So for doing this I've already created a file called sorting.php, which is here inside my PHP Specials folder. Besides that, I've created a table inside PHP Specials and I've named it as news_copy because it's just a copy of the news table we previously had. The only difference is that the news copy has an extra field, and that is display order. Now what we are trying to do is we will assign some order to these entries, like any entry with display order 1, not ID but the display order 1 is to be shown on the top. Yes, so if any entry has display order 1, this means that it should be shown on the top of the listing, and if the entry has display order 7, which means it is to be shown on the last of the entry. So let us say this entry has display order 2, and this entry has display order 4, and this entry has display order 7, and this entry has display order 1, and this entry has display order 3, and this 5, and this is 6. So as per our task, now the ID number 4, the news with the ID number 4, since it has display order 1, it should be shown on the top of the listing while we are listing it in our PHP page. Similarly, this should be shown on the second, this on third, this on fourth, this on 5, this on 6th, and this should be shown on last. So we have to show our order this way, firstly. Secondly, we should be able to drag and drop our entry this way, like this, just by dragging the mouse from top to bottom or bottom to top. And just by dragging the entries we should be able to change its display order. So this is something that we are about to do, and this is a really useful task for backend developers who will allow their clients to change the display order of the product. Sometimes what happens is, let us say an e-commerce website where products are to be shown on the front end, and we want to display product, maybe some product we want to, let's say, promote some product in some days, and we want to promote some other products on some other days. And if we allow our clients to drag and drop product which to be shown on the top and which to be shown on later, so if we allow such interface by just letting them drag and drop the products from top to bottom, it will be really user friendly, and the task will be really smooth and seamless. So this is what we are about to do today, and in order to do that, as I told, I have created a file called sorting and a table called news_copy with its display order. Now this will require around 2 or 3 things, like the first thing is jQuery. The second thing, there's a framework of or let's say, yeah, a framework of jQuery, and that is JqueryUI. It allows the user to use various functions provided by it in order to make things really easier. So if you just, first of all, let us just grab the JavaScript, I mean jQuery. So download jQuery. So let us grab the link of jQuery, which is here, and let us give it the title called sorting, drag and drop sorting. So drag and drop sorting, and below the title I would like to give the link of jQuery, crpt script src equals to the link of jQuery. Now I want to give the link of JqueryUI, and if you try to search for JqueryUI, you will find that in the first link, JqueryUI. This is a framework of jQuery itself, and it has lots and lots of interaction, widgets, effects, utilities. You'll see it has sliders, spinners, and you can also find like date pickers and time pickers, and you can like drag and drop. So you can just go for sortable right now. And if you go to see, what we are about to do is we'll list our news this way. We should be able to drag and drop the news like this. Okay, so instead of just doing this, we can just go to API documentation, and we can, we should have gone for source code. I don't want to download the entire file, I just want to use its CDN. So what we can do is we can grab the CSS of JqueryUI, which is over here. Since this is CDN, I can just copy this and paste it over here, let's say on the top. And we should also grab the link of JqueryUI, the source and the script of JqueryUI, which is also a CDN of jQuery. So we can just copy the link and paste it over here. Let's say here. Now if you want to use the listing like Bootstrap for listing of tables or and the lists, what you can do is you can just give the link of Bootstrap CSS as well. So what I want to do is link href equals to, let's say, Bootstrap and dist folder, CSS folder, and bootstrap .css. So we are done with linking our CSS and scripts. Now let us get started with some coding. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to grab each and every entries from this table, from this database, this table, and display it as per the display order. So in order to do that, I will just write some PHP inside my body. So the first thing, I want to create a link, MySQL link, which is returned by MySQL underscore connect. The first parameter is host name, which is localhost, and second parameter is username. My username is root. Third parameter is password. My password is MySQL, and the fourth is database name, which is PHP underscore Specials in my case. In your case, it could be different. Okay. The second thing I want to do is I want to prepare a query to grab each and every news from this table, news underscore copy, as per the display order in its table. Okay, so my query would be select all from, the table name is news underscore copy, so news underscore copy, and order by, and what is the field name? Display order. So display underscore order, and I want to list it ascending, right? So my order should be ascending, that is starting from 1 and ending on 7, so it should be ASC. So this is my query that I need to execute to grab the entries and show it in its own display order. Now I have to execute this, and I'll just create a variable called result and run MySQL underscore query. Its first parameter would be link and its second parameter would be queue, and I need to check if we got any entry returned from the database. And in order to do that, there's a function that says MySQL underscore num underscore rows of $result. If this is greater than 0, this means some of the entries are being returned. So if some of the entries are being returned, what I want to do is I want to loop through each entries. So while let's say row equals to MySQL underscore fetch underscore object of $result, I want to display that in a table row. So before starting the while loop, let me just quickly create a table, and that table would look like table table. I want to give some class of Bootstrap, so class would be table, and table as, let's say, striped. This should do it. and inside table I want to have a tr with th and some of my fields name that and they are title, description, maybe title and description and author. Okay, so these three things I want to show. So my first heading would be title, my second heading would be description, and my third heading would be author. Okay, now let me close the table at the end of the loop. So now inside while loop I wanted to show the real title, description and author of the listing that we just pulled. So just instead of just doing tr and having its data over here, what I want to do is I want to place the entire loop to a table tag which is tbody. Okay, and I'll tell the reason why I want to do this. So there is no problem in having this entire content inside tbody. So this is what I want to do. I want to place each and every tr inside tbody, the parent tbody. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to loop through each and every row that I just fetched through this query and place it inside here. So first field title, so I want to do PHP echo $row title, and here PHP echo $row description, but I don't want to show the entire paragraph or entire multi-paragraphs, so I just want to show some substring. So what I'm going to do is substr substring of this starting from 0, and let me grab let's say 80 or let's say 50 characters followed by dot dot dot. Okay, and my final listing would be echo $row author. So let us see if we got entries in as per our display order. So my file is special slash and it was sorting.php. So we can see our first entry is this, this and this, but I can see my bootstrap design in this table. So table strap is my link. Okay, so bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. I think, oh yeah, the spelling of bootstrap is wrong over here, so bootstrap, I missed a T. Now let us refresh this and we can see now this is in the perfect order. Okay, now second thing I would like to do is I want to explain why I placed a T body over here. Now what we are about to use is we are about to use the sortable feature of jQuery UI, and in order to use that, how it actually works is whenever we place a class that we are about to use in our jQuery UI sortable, it actually makes each and every children of that class, the first children of that class, sortable. This means if I place a class called, let's say, class equals to sortable inside tbody, so this means there will be 7 different child of this tbody, which is 7 trs, right? So you can see our loop will go 7 times, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So this means this entire tr is inside tbody sortable. So what will this do is now this will make these each tr sortable just by writing few script down below now. So we want to make each and every tr sortable, so we are placing entire tr into tbody except for this tr, because since this is a heading we don't want it to be sortable. So all of the tr which includes our entries from database, we want to make it sortable, so we created a parent tag known as tbody and placed a class called sortable inside it. So now each and every child of the sortable should be and draggable or sortable. Okay, now to make this work, what we are about to do now is we are just going to create a script just before our body tag and prepare our document ready, and within it I want to give the class name of the parent of those tags we want, which we want to make draggable and sortable. So the parent of these tr which we want to make sortable is sortable, right? So what we want to do is we want to just give the class sortable sortable and call the function of jQueryUI which is sortable sortable. Just by calling class sortable, which what we can do is we can make those entries sortable now. So now if you see, I can just drag this and place it anywhere I like this way. So UN has moved from the bottom to the second. Okay, let's just refresh this for now, and let us first of all check that everything is coming on order. Okay, so our first is 50 feet from Syria, right? One. So 50 feet from Syria is on the top. Second is Italy votes in uncertain general election. So second one is Italy votes in uncertain general election, and our seventh entry is UN on Syria. So last would be UN on Syria. So everything is in order. Now what we want to do is if I drag this and place it on somewhere, now the position or display order of this should be 1 2 3 4. So it should be 4 and this would be 7 now. So if I drag this and place it down, now its entry should be 1 2 3 4 5, and similarly others entries should also change as per our dragging. So what I can do now is we have just made integration in the client side. If I refresh this, everything will go back to its own place like before. But what I want to do is after I finish dragging, and even if I refresh, I want everything to stay on the same order which I just placed. Like after refreshing, I want UN on Syria to be on the top even after refreshing. That means our display order in database should update automatically after my moving or sorting is over. So what I want to do is inside sortable we can trigger many events, and in order to trigger the events of sortable, what we need to do is we can just give a curly bracket over here and give an enter. There's an event that we call as stop. There's also start, as soon as we start sorting what to do, and as soon as we end sorting what to do. So what I want to do is as soon as I'm done with moving the entries, that means as I stop, I want to get the, let's say, position of each and every entries and save it to the database as per the position of the entries. So what I want to do is I would just want to modify first of all these codes a little bit. So in each tr I want to give a class, or let's say ID. Okay, and what I want to give in ID is its own ID, so row ID. So each tr is going to have an ID $echo $row ID. Okay, now what I want to do is as soon as I stop, so in order to call stop event, or in order to trigger the stop event, I just need to do this just like in Ajax, and I need to call a function, and whatever I do over here is done as soon as I stop. Let us just say I want to alert test. Okay, so if I refresh this now and stop my dragging or sorting, it just said test. So what is basically is doing is as soon as I stop, it does this operation. So here what I want to do is I want to grab the ID of each entries or each row one by one, place it in a string, make it a perfect order, and send it to the server side to analyze it and save it to the database. So what I'm doing is as soon as I stop, I want to loop through each tr, get its ID in the same order that it currently is. So what I want to do is just after I stop, I want to loop through the tr, let's say the tr inside sortable. Okay, so sortable tr. Okay, the tr inside sortable class dot each. I want to loop through each tr inside sortable, and I want to get its id. So first of all, let us just say alert id to see if we are getting the id in perfect order. Refresh. So as soon as I stop, so UN on Syria, I move it on top. Okay, so I got id. Okay, there's a mistake. I don't want to do this. What I want to do is I want to grab the id of the tr which I just placed here. So this is the id of the entry, right? So I'm grabbing this id by doing dot this, which means the tr that I'm currently on, this dot attr id. I'm grabbing the value of the attribute id and placing it in id, and I want to alert the id. Okay, now let us see. I'm dragging the UN on Syria on the top, so it is saying 3. Let us check to see if the ID of UN on Syria is 3 or not. So you can see the ID of UN on Syria is 3, so it is giving me correct ID. In second order, we have 50 feet from Syria. So 50 feet from Syria is on 4, right? So if the second alert should be 4. So you can see it's 4. The third is Italy vote on in uncertain general election. So Italy vote on uncertain is 1. So my third alert should be 1, which is correct. So we are getting the ID in correct order. Now instead of just alerting it, what we want to do is we want to grab the ID in each loop and maybe assign it to a comma separated string and send it to our server side or any other external file where we want to save the new display order of our existing entries. So what I want to do is, instead of just alerting it, I want to create a variable called, let's say, IDs, which is equals to blank in the beginning. Now I want to check if IDs is equal to blank. Okay, so if IDs is blank, I want to assign IDs equals to ID. Okay, so this means if ID is equals to blank, the first value of the ID gets is assigned to IDs. But if ID is not blank, then I just want to add a comma and then assign ID into, just concatenate the ID into this. So what I'm doing is IDs equals to old IDs plus concatenate with comma and then concatenate with ID. So what I'm trying to do is, so suppose initially my IDs, let us suppose we are getting 4 as the first ID in the loop. So my IDs in IDs, since my initially the IDs is blank, so my IDs now becomes 4. Oops, sorry. So IDs now becomes 4. In the second loop, let's say ID is 3. So in that case, it gets concatenated with comma this way, and we get 3. In another loop, since ID is not equals to blank, it is already 4 comma 3. So let's say the third ID is 2. In that case, I get a comma of old ID concatenate with comma and then 2. So this way we are creating a comma separated IDs in each loop, and after the loop is completed, after completing the loop, what I want to do is, yes, so after completing the loop, what I want to do is I want to alert the IDs to see if we are getting IDs in correct order. So after the loop is finished, I just want to alert the IDs. Okay, so let us complete this, or maybe just refresh this. Now as per our code, after we stop our sorting, initially the IDs is blank, and I then loop through each IDs, and I create a string, and I then alert that string. Oh, it should be variable, so IDs. So I want to create a string of comma separated ID, and assign it to ID. So in each loop I'm assigning the new ID with comma to the old ID. So I'm getting a string of comma separated IDs, and I want to check if I'm getting the string correct. So what I want to do is I just want to drag this and to see. Let me just refresh it again. Drag this and see, now we are getting 4, 1, 5, 3, 2, 6, 7. Let's see. So 50 feet from Syria should be 4. So 50 feet from Syria is 4. That's right. So 1. Italy votes in uncertain general election. That is should be 1. So this is 1. Italy votes is 1. 5. So healing on the Syria-Turkey border should be 5. Healing on Syria-Turkey border should be 5. So we are getting the ID in correct order. So finally we got a comma separated IDs. Now what I want to do is I just want to call an Ajax $.Ajax and send these comma separated value to a URL, let's say, and the URL is save underscore order.php, and as a data I want to send IDs. So IDs equals to $IDs. Okay, so this is that I want to set in IDs. Okay, and my type would be post. And after the posting is done, I want to call a function, and inside that function I just want to say order saved successfully. So let us give an alert for now and say alert order saved successfully. Okay, now I need to create this file because I want to send these comma separate value to this file. So let me just create a file known as save order.php. So my file is here. The first thing I want to do is I want to grab these IDs, which is comma separated. So $IDs equals to $_post IDs. The first thing I've done is I grab the IDs. Now secondly, I want to separate these comma separated value. So previously we learned in string manipulation, if you are not aware of explode function, just go back to my video where there's a string manipulations is discussed, and you will see a function called explode being discussed. Just go through that and you'll understand. So we have a comma separate IDs over here, and I want to explode those comma separate IDs with respect to comma. So what I want to do is I just want to create an array and explode these IDs with respect to comma. Okay, so I'm exploding IDs with respect to comma. Now what I want to do is I want to use a for loop for $I equals to 0, $I is less than or equals to, let's say for I equals to 1, $I is less than or equals to count of $R. So I'm sure this will be 7 because we have 7 different IDs separated by comma. So I want to start from 1 and end till 7, and $I plus plus. And what I want to do, we can also use for each loop if you want, but I thought for loop will be easier in this case. So I want to do something. I want to save new display order over here, but before that I need to connect to MySQL, and I have already done that over here. So I just want to copy this line and paste it over here. So in each loop what I want to do is I want to create a query which is update, that my table name is news underscore copy, and I want to set display underscore order. So my first loop my I is 1, in second loop my I is 2, so I want to save the display order as per the value of I. So equals to concatenate with $I, concatenate with where ID equals to $ARR, $I minus 1. So let me just quickly explain this, or let me just echo the query in order to make you understand, and let me also give a line break after this. So I've written a query. I just want to show how the query looks like in each loop. Okay, So let me just refresh this and move it on the top. Okay, so order saved successfully. It is not yet saved in database. I just want to show you the query. So in order to do that, I just want to inspect it, and since we are calling it through Ajax, it should be listed over here. Let me just try it again, move it up, and we can see save order is being called through Ajax, which is with the method post, and we are sending some parameters, and which is 7415263. So the first entry is of ID 7, second entry is ID 4156263. This is the order. So the ID number 7 should have display order 1, ID number 4 should have display order 2, ID number 1 should have display order 3, and so on. So what I want to see is if my response is correct. Okay, so ID number 7 should have display order 1. So let's see. Update news underscore p set display order 1 where ID equals to 7. Is that what we want? So 7 should have display order 1. And update news underscore p set display order equals to 2 where ID equals to 4. Yes, so 4 should have display order 2. Similarly for 3, the display order should be 7. Let's see. In the last, set display order equals 7 where ID equals to 3. So how did we manage to get these queries? If you see, what I've done is I have a variable I that automatically increases in every loop, and if you see our response, I want my display order to be automatically increased by 1 in every loop. So I want ID number 7 to have display order 1, and ID number 4 to have display order 2, and so on. So I need something that increases automatically in every loop to represent display order. So what I've done in my query is I have set I to be the display order because it increases automatically by 1 in every loop. Similarly, in the case of if you see the response, in the case of ID, 7 is in the 0th index of $ARR. So this is, if this is ARR, which I have exploded, so 7 is in the 0th index, 4 is in the first index, 1 is in the second index. So I want something that starts from 0 to represent the index of ARR and reaches till 6. So what I've done is, since I starts from 1 and ends till 7, so I have represented the index of $ARR by I minus 1 because I need the index to start from 0 and end till 6. So this is how I got my 7 different update queries, which will set the ID of 7 to have display order 1, which will set ID number 4 to have display order 2, similarly which will set ID number 3 to have display order 7. So this is exactly what we want when we drag and drop our let's say listing. So all I need to do now is, instead of just printing the query, I want to execute the query to make it take effect. So what I'll do is I'll just run MySQL underscore query, pass the first parameter to be link, which is this, and my second parameter to be queue, and this will automatically update the entries of these news to have an automatically increased display order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 as per it is listed over here. So let us try this now. Let us try this. Now let me refresh this so that my script is up to date. Now I want 50 to be in the last. Okay, so I just dropped it. Now it says order saved successfully. Now in order to check if it really saved the order, I'll just refresh the page and see if the 50 will appear in the last. You can see now 50 is in the last. Let us say I want this heavy rain to be on the first, so I just dragged it and dropped it. It says order saved successfully. Now let us check if it really saved the order. So if it has saved the order already, heavy rains bring flooding to parts of Kenya should have display order 1 and hence should be displayed on top even after I refresh the page. So let's see. We can see this is on the top, this is on the last. So our display order should also be fixed automatically. So it is 2471 currently. Now I'll just refresh this. refresh the phpMyAdmin, and you will see 2467. Now the orders are changed automatically in the database. So this is how we implement drag and drop. So whatever I just drag and drop, let me say UN on Syria should be on second listing. Now click OK and refresh the page, and you will see UN on Syria is in the second page, second listing. So this is how we dynamically maintain the display order of different listing from backend, and hence show it on the front end. So these are actually the things that we do on backend, and the reflection should be made on the front end. Okay, so it was quite simple, I guess. So first of all, let me just quickly revise everything. So first of all, what we did is we just connected to the database. We selected all the news from the database in its display order, and order the display order by the display order in ascending order. So whichever news has ID number display order 1 should appear on the first, and the news with the ID and display order 7 should appear on the last. So I just selected all the news with respect to its display order, and I used the loop to display it. Now what I did was I placed the lists of tr in tbody, and gave the tbody a class called sortable, and I called JqueryUI function sortable for this class. And now by doing that it was now sortable. So I just call the function sortable for this. Now in order to take action after the lists had been sorted, I called a function, I triggered an event called stop, which performed these tasks. And the task was, I firstly defined an ID to be blank, and after the sortable is done, I looped through each tr, grabbed the ID of the tr this way, and placed it in a comma separated value, and called save order.php, and passed the comma separated IDs as a data. I pulled the data here this way, I exploded it, separated into array. I looped through each of the element of the array and updated the display order as per its position. So this is how we implement drag and drop sorting using jQuery UI, PHP and jQuery. I hope and the video was clear to you. You understood what we discussed today. And if there are any comments for the video, if you have any confusions, you can feel free to mention it in a comment. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit like button. And if you have not subscribed yet, please click on subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow with the new topic. Till then, have a nice day, have a nice time, and thank you. Goodbye.